Hello everyone and welcome back to Gentle Watches. I know you're wondering why I'm looking down as soon as I start the video, and that's because I dropped my pen as I clicked record. And you know what? I found a fork on the ground, so I really don't know what's going on. Anyway, welcome to... I found it. Welcome to Classroom of the Elite. This is Season 2, Episode 2, and in... last episode, we watched... they started. I mean, it was the start of the season, which is crazy because the season, because the show had been off the air for like 10 years. But now here it is, and season 2 began. Oh my gosh, this is a disaster of a video so far. Season 2 began with them doing a test, which is kind of like a weird social deduction game where they're just kind of sitting around discussing. It's like Werewolf or Mafia, you know, those kinds of games where they're just sitting around discussing who they think the VIP is. And basically, if they all guess from memory of how it goes, if they all guess the VIP, then everyone gets rewarded basically. But that will make C and D gain on A and B a little bit. Or they could all guess it wrong, or some people could guess it wrong, which would make only the VIP get points. Or someone could try to betray them and get points for them and their class. Or someone can try to betray them and get it wrong, and then only the VIP gets points and the test is immediately over. So I think that's the summary of everything that can happen. And if it is, I mean, you got to give me a round of applause for being able to remember all of that. I did watch the last episode earlier today, like 12 hours ago. So it's not that impressive, but it's still pretty impressive, I would say. I'm sure some people wouldn't have even been able to follow that much. So I can be a little bit smug about that. But anyway, we are going to be getting into episode 2 of season 2 because this is probably going to focus a little bit on the blonde girl. I always forget her name. And I actually, while editing the video, found out what her name was by listening to the dialogue again. And I still don't remember it. So yeah, I mean, crazy. So we're just going to get into Classroom of the Elite season 2, episode 2. I did read the title for this episode because I know it wasn't going to translate it, and it makes no sense. It does make sense. I just didn't know what it meant. This is a new type of, well, not a new type, but a different type of fan service.
Well, that's as good a reason as any.
We got a message? Let's see. The Saturn Group's test has concluded. Wait, did something happen? The Saturn Group is no longer...
If there's anything good about Koenji, it's that he's decisive.
That's, I guess. You know what? I think it's really cool that this OP is has showing lyrics the entire time. Obviously, you know, we can't read it because it's in Japanese, but I think that's really cool. Like, it reminds me of like a Vocaloid music video or something, you know?
It's probably too ambitious for Class D to win in every group.
Yeah, I mean, the other sections can't win without you.
Actually, she's more like you. She's undeniably popular among the students of Class D.
The initiative in the
He just
special exam.
complimented you, girl.
Yes, we may need Kadoizawa's help convincing the girls.
Hey, Susan.
Maybe, yeah.
Kind of a lame place to have a date.
Dude,
You don't mind if I join?
what are you always hanging around for?
What if I told you I'm about to find the identities of all the VIPs?
Really?
Be more inclined to listen then. Love me, hate me, it doesn't matter. In the end, I always get what I want.
Really? Because
Just watch.
you seem to lose the
Only a matter of
last
time before I
test.
have the whole test in my hands. Because everyone from Class C handed over their cell phones to me.
What? Really?
But that's against the rules.
Is it?
You're crazy.
Is it just against school
Well,
rules?
Susan,
Or is it actually
Get lost.
against the rules of the test?
then we'd utterly crush them. What do you
Wanna
say?
really take down that class?
No one's going to accept your proposal.
That's too bad. I thought it was a good offer.
Maybe it is. I don't know. It could be.
Catch you later, Susan.
It would be quite annoying if rumors about us started to spread.
Hey, you're the one who asked to meet up.
You've overstayed your welcome.
Maybe we should kiss just once. just to test it out, or I guess we can just try it. Oh, Kushida, haven't heard from you this season.
Are you alone?
Yeah.
I am too.
Wait.
Hold on.
Oh, just in her regular cutesy voice.
Kushida.
We're hugging like this, and so I
What's your play here, girl?
wanted to see how it felt.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Come on, we know you're full of crap.
That was surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, I've missed this. It's been a while.
This teacher, I like her.
While it's not a strict rule, we should be impartial. Please don't put me in a position where I'd have to file a report.
Oh, wouldn't do that.
I like this teacher a lot. Although she definitely then just was implying that she's not as she
Why I want you
seems.
to protect me. No matter what I do, they won't leave me alone. I'm afraid of what they might try next. That's impossible.
Have you
Those kids
tried?
Just hate me for no reason.
You say that,
for
but
no
you
reason?
picked a fight with Rika in the first place.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. I accidentally bumped into her.
Has to be a way to resolve this peacefully.
You lied to me. You told me that you protect me.
I'm the
Oh,
liar.
this is
The only lie I've told.
pretty
is to the rest
manipulative.
of our class. It's not like we're actually dating.
Oh. Oh, okay, all right. Whoa! I liked how the music changed as she went black and white. That was pretty
I wouldn't mind
cool.
pretending to be in a fake relationship and tell Manabe and the others that you want to apologize.
Anything but that.
If you won't apologize,
She seems.
not much else I can
She
do.
really does seem like she's manipulating,
Forget you then.
like she's
Protect me like you
emotionally
promised.
manipulative to
I
people.
don't need you anymore.
Actually, seems like a pretty realistic interpretation of that sort of character. In that always playing the victim and refusing to apologize and
Oh, hey.
acting like everyone hates me
Pretty much
for no
like me.
reason.
And yet, you always kept her at arm's length. You didn't even call each other by your first names.
You figured us out. Isn't the real Karuizawa. I think she's forcing herself to act tough. or
That's
like
kind of
she's
most of
scared.
the class.
It
most of
makes
the
me hard to
school,
believe
really.
looking at her now that she
Pretending
wasn't
to be
always
people they
popular.
aren't.
In reality, she's been the victim of horrific bullying.
Now, is that true? Or is she responsible for all that? It's hard to tell.
Should we follow them to be safe?
So annoying. We've already got enough to worry about with this stupid exam.
Well, I mean, if these girls do anything, like participate in any bullying, then I am no longer on their side. But last episode, I thought they weren't being that unreasonable. If what they were saying is true, of course.
Maybe we should tell the school that you shoved Rika. What do you think of that?
Don't try to run.
Oh, okay, well now they're getting physical.
Hold on a sec. I barely even touched her when she tripped on her own. If she wasn't so clumsy.
How dare you?
Hmm.
You're still making excuses? All you had to do was
Yeah.
apologize to Rika and we would have just let you go.
So why don't we get a little payback for Rika?
You're so right. Let's teach her a lesson.
Oh, don't do this.
Not yet.
We can't just sit here and do nothing.
You girls seem like you're almost in the right, but
See that helpless little girl act for some
now you're no longer in the right.
makes me want to
Oh,
punch
now
him.
you're absolutely not in the right.
Should leave a couple scars to make sure.
Ayana Koji, you can't just watch her getting bullied and just go, huh. I am curious. I mean, don't answer this, but I'm curious where this is going because it seems like this could actually be either a pretty complex situation with a pretty complex, like, non-black and white who's right and who's wrong, or it could be the show sort of like letting a character be like horrible. I don't know. Like I think from the way that this is written, it seems like they are trying to show that both sides are wrong in this situation. And so if that's the case, that's actually, I mean, kind of interesting and maybe refreshing in a way. I mean, it's hard to watch, and I think what makes it especially hard to watch is I'm not gonna say you, because I don't know if I have a unique experience with this episode, but I feel like when I'm watching it, I'm not on Kaorizawa's side. This is why I never remember a name, because even when I do remember a name, it's really hard to say. Kaorizawa. I'm not on Kaorizawa's side, because like there's a few situations there. Either they are like not telling the truth or exaggerating what happened, like it was an accident and they're acting like it was a thing of bullying, or they are telling the truth. And in both situations, Kaorizawa is not acting correctly, not acting morally, and not playing the situation out correctly, because in the situation where it is like it's something that she actually did push this girl. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry that I'm hiccuping. In a situation where she actually did push this girl and was actually like mildly bullying this girl or whatever, which is a possibility, then yeah, Kaorizawa is in the wrong. Because, well, when I say in the wrong, I don't mean she deserves this. I'm just saying she has done something wrong. But yeah, if that's the case, then she's in the wrong. If the case is that she accidentally bumped into this girl and she happened to fall over, or whatever, then she's still in the wrong, because they were like, why don't you go apologize to her? And she went, no, screw you, it's her fault for falling over. Like, that is not the way to act. So I feel like that's got to be intentional writing. If they wanted to make Kaorizawa the like purely the victim of the situation, they could write a completely different situation where she does apologize, but they want revenge or whatever. So no, I think what they're trying to show here is that she is a victim, but she is also like kind of self-important and reacts poorly to situations and spirals. She has a tendency to spiral a lot, and has a major victim complex, because I mean, yeah, she's, especially at the end of this episode, she is a victim at the end of this episode when they're cornering her and actually like grabbing her hair and laughing at her and taking pictures and stuff. That's not cool, and that's absolutely bullying, and that like she doesn't deserve that, right? You can't just fight bullying by bullying the bully. That's not how you should do it. So like, yes, she's a victim there. But she was sort of claiming to be a victim very early in the process. I mean, last episode, they just approached her and said, like, hey, what our friend said that someone had bumped, had pushed her over or whatever. Was that you? And she was like, what? Get away from me. Go. Stop. I don't need you here. Blah, blah, blah. Like, she was already super defensive. And she was also saying that she has no idea what they're talking about and you've got the wrong girl. But then when she went to her fake boyfriend, and she was talking to him and he was like, you have to blah, blah, blah. She was like, well, it was an accident. I just bumped into her. It wasn't a big deal. Like, she knew what they were talking about and she was just straight up lying to them. So yeah, she's in the wrong. And now those three girls are in the wrong. So yeah, I wonder what the resolution of that is going to be. I wonder if Ayano Koji is going to find a way to make her, like, you know, to get her out of this situation, but also make her, like, reflect on her own behavior, because she needs to. She absolutely needs to. And it's just, it's especially kind of hard to watch because, like, you know, I feel for her in a way. Like, I definitely feel sorry for her for a lot of the stuff that's happening, but at the same time, her behavior is so, like, reminiscent of just some pretty toxic people that, like, not that I know closely, but that I know of and that I've seen, like, treat other people close to me and stuff like that, where it's just like, everything is everyone else's fault, everyone's against me, I'm never apologizing for anything I do, like, all of that sort of stuff. And just whenever someone doesn't give you exactly what it is you want, like, they can try to help you as best they can, but if they don't give you exactly what it is you want, just break down and cry and, like, you know, treat them terribly and say that they're betraying you and all that sort of stuff. It's very emotionally manipulative. So yeah, that was, I mean, but I gotta say, pretty interesting for, like, from a character perspective. I think it's a risky plotline to do and portray it in the way you're portraying it, because the way it's being portrayed in the scene, if you're sort of watching casually and not really thinking about it too much, it does just look like Karuizawa is actually a victim. Like, she's just whatever. Like, she's absolutely, you know, just 100% a victim. Or if you're watching super casually, you might actually think the opposite and actually think she's purely the one to blame and you're happy and saying she deserves it for being a bully. You know, when it's somewhere in the middle there. It's somewhere in the middle between her being a victim and her being the sole person who's responsible for her own misery or whatever. Anyway, I'm curious to see where they go with that. I expected them to progress the test thing a little bit more, but they kind of didn't. So yeah, I don't have much to say about that at all. And I also just want to quickly say that there's a Matthew Mercer dude. I could keep calling him the Matthew Mercer dude because I always forget his name, even though I had it at the end of last season and I forgot it. But it starts with an R. I feel like it's R something in, maybe. That's what my brain is telling me, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I never know whether to trust him or not. You know, I feel like maybe Horikita is too quick to not trust him. Ayano Koji seems to think that he's on to something a little bit, and I'm more inclined to trust Ayano Koji's judgment. So I wonder, I mean, they could kind of team up with him possibly in the future, because, I mean, he wants to take down Class A. It would be good for both of them if they work together to take down Class A. He's just a douchebag, you know? So I wonder. Anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to do for this episode. So thank you very much for watching this episode. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for extra content like this. And speaking of extra content, you can go to my Patreon, which is in the link in the description, to get full-length and early access. Now, obviously, you're not going to get early access to this show because I'm watching the dub, and this is all that's out of the show as of when I'm recording this. So, but you'll get early access to shows that you can, like Death Note and One Piece, which I just started on this channel. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.